What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. We're going live. This is our third time going live within the last couple of days since the NFL season has started last Thursday. And man, this is exciting, man. Football is here, and the Dallas Cowboys still suck. Lord have mercy. As you see it on the thumbnail, I'm going to talk a little mess right now about the Dallas Cowboys. I'll try to point out a few things that are good, but they've had an astronomically bad offseason, man. I like that they targeted the offensive lineman position, but they lost so many big pieces. Don't be shocked that they only win 4 games this year. That's actually what I predicted them at. Buccaneers, all right, man, they played okay, not bad. I'd expect them to put up more. I think before this game, I had the Buccaneers taking and going, putting 20 points on the board. Thought it'd be a lot closer actually to Dallas at 17, but sometimes, man, we forget, including myself, man, the Buccaneers, man, they have a stacked squad, man. I mean, I said they're Super Bowl bound this year. Who knows? I think the NFC is definitely not deep, nowhere near as deep as the AFC. You know what I mean? So very, very, very exciting, man. Very exciting. But comment below, man. Let me know what you guys think of this Buccaneers versus Tampa game, or even any game at that matter. I've been watching football all day. I watched just about all the games, man. Especially watched the Miami Dolphins beat the brakes off the New England Patriots, man. Much deserved. I saw that. That was awesome. I saw the Raiders lost. That was a shocker. The game that I'm so happy to see, and I'm not even like a Vikings fan, y'all. I'm really not. But I'm really happy to take and see the Vikings take and pull it off, man, because they've been getting the break speed off them for the past couple of years by the Green Bay Packers, man. And to see them come out the way they did, man, old man Rodgers, he probably should have took and went retired or even went to another division, man, because, yeah, Vikings ain't playing around at all, man. So, but as you guys are tuning in, there's literally less than 5 minutes left in this game. Let me mute this here. Less than 5 minutes in this game left. And then we'll go ahead and I'll do my recap. I got my co-host coming in here. They should be joining me any moment. Let me know where you guys are from. Getting everything set up here. In the meantime, as we get everything set up, I'm going to go ahead and play my intro music. And then should get this thing on the road here. Here we go.
Touchdown with Doug Smith, celebrate, that's a new move. Heinzman, 2 views, catch him on YouTube. NFL coverage, interviews. Who lose, who win, who lose. Comedy, you choose, it's not about moolah. The QB's like Tua is missing in action. No L's on my shooter. Play it like Marino, it's a gamble like casino. Hungry for it, but you know we still gon' try to feed the beef. Rivalries will lead the conference. Cowboys are the Eagles. Will Belichick be a threat? Better check. Tomlin on deck, much respect to the vet. What to expect? Gotta tune in for the rest. Make sure to sub, like, chat. At the best, bad boy, the sports podcast. For the threat across the north, east, south, in the west. Sitting back, clueless. Time to tune in. Now another sports center. It's a movement.
That's right, folks. Not another sports center, but it's a movement. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. I got invites coming on the way from my co-host Adrian Campbell, and might even have Mr. Mike Williams, fellow Denver Broncos fan, coming on the show here today as well too. So, man, we about to get into the meat and potatoes. Really excited for a very fun nighttime show. I usually don't go live at the night, but when I do, it's always live, y'all. Watching Tom Brady, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. To talk on Tom Brady, man, obviously it's no secret him and Giselle, his wife, are having some rocky waters, and it has to do something with him coming out of retirement, man. And as somebody who's married and has kids, I definitely feel for Tom Brady, man, because he being great, it comes with a sacrifice, man. A lot of people who are super great, they struggle in their relationships in real life, right? That's not just with sports, that's with jobs, that's with other things too. It comes, sometimes it's your lack of sleep, sometimes it's your sanity, sometimes you get hit hard with depression, anxiety. When it comes to Mr. Brady, man, it's such a blessing to see him. I just hope everything's good in his personal life. Oh, here we go. Got my co-host, Mr. Soup, Adrian Soup Campbell. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good. Hey, you like that background?
Yeah, there we go. We with it.
Yeah, man. I put a little together, man. I'm trying to take a little time on my thumbnails a little bit, and whatnot. Someone did call me out recently on, I think it was Twitter or YouTube. It's like, hey, you can at least give us a shout out when you take our thumbnails. Like, so yeah, I had to work. I usually only do it on like live shows and stuff, but I had to work on that, man. So this one's an original, man.
It's all right. Would be
man,
good.
we got 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Tampa Bay is winning 19-3.
So let's talk about that game real quick because it's over.
Hey,
look, man, I don't know in what world Dallas fans really thought that their team this year was going to be better than the team that they fielded last year with less weapons and no replacement for Randy Gregory on the edge rush. And I know you're like, oh, we still got DeMarcus Lawrence. We moved Micah down into the defensive edge rushing position. And Micah's going to be Micah regardless, right? Like, I really think that Micah's going to be a generational talent. I hate that he's on the Cowboys, but I really think he's going to be one of those ones that we're going to talk about him kind of like we talk about Aaron Donald. Like, it don't matter how bad the team is, he's going to ball out.
Yeah.
That being said, Dak Prescott is not that guy. I've said this for a long time now that Dak Prescott isn't that guy. He's going to continue to not be that guy. Outside of CD Lamb, I don't know who he's throwing to. Tom Brady, like, Jesus, man. I really thought that Dallas would be able to do a lot more, especially with all the troubles that they've had on the offensive line, even before the season started, right? We talk about that. Their starting center is out. The right guard is out. They had to replace Ali Marpet that retired, right? So that interior of the offensive line, I just thought for sure there was going to be a ton of pressure up the middle. Tom Brady wasn't going to have time to do anything.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin exited the game early. Leonard Fournette was allegedly overweight. Leonard Fournette looks amazing tonight.
He looks fantastic, like prime.
He looks like playoff Lenny in his week one. Mike Evans is still Mike Evans. For those who didn't know, Julio actually looks like Atlanta Falcons early days Julio, which is scary if he can maintain that level of play. Still some things to work out. You can tell that he's a step slower, but everything else, man, like, God, look at this pass. Dak to Zeke. Zeke just dropped it. Jesus Christ. Anyway, scariest thing that I'm watching tonight. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady is 45 years old, and he looks like he could play another 5 years. He won't, but he looks like he could play another 5 years. And like, I don't know who needs to be reminded of this, but Tom is probably better than your favorite quarterback. Like, he's still a top 5 quarterback, and it's insane that we're sitting here talking about it. Like, I was talking with somebody on Twitter about this, and I was like, what's wild? It's like Tom Brady's gonna walk away from this game after this season.
Yeah,
because I don't think he plays after this, but he's gonna walk away from this game after this season, and we're gonna be talking about like a what if, right? When Peyton was done, like, we knew that he was done, right?
Yeah.
There was no like, man, what if he came back next season? Like, no, we knew that he was done.
Rode until the wheels fell off.
Right. But he's gonna leave in relatively good health, and questions about like, man, what if he just came back for one more season? Mm-hmm. Like, he can still play, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's scary, and I'm watching him chuck this thing down the field. I mean, he's throwing bombs, and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful.
And I'll say this too, before literally seconds before you came on, Adrian, I was talking about the whole Giselle thing, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Tom Brady has missed preseasons before. I don't think that's a big deal to me, to be honest. I mean, that's not hey, man,
Tom doesn't play in the preseason.
He's the filet mignon. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you say him, he's the best. Mm-hmm. But his personal life, right? I could see that, and I hope everything's well. I don't ever wish this stuff on nobody. He's in a high-profile relationship with a supermodel who actually makes more money than he does, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking is there has to come to a point where he's like, hey, marriage or football. Because you're right, Adrian. I mean, he could possibly play another 5 years or more, or close to 5 years, right? We can see Tom. I mean, it's crazy, man. I hate to ride his coattail like this, man, but it's like, goodness gracious, man. Tom is that guy, man, and he could possibly win another Super Bowl if they get hot at the right time, right? we've seen this over and over again where it's like, yeah, Tommy's done, man. Well, he got 3 rings. He ain't going to get another one. Then he gets the 4th one. Then he gets the 5th one, the 6th one, the 7th one, right? And it's going to be interesting the end of this year.
Look, something that ain't getting talked about enough. I only see it on social media, but something that needs to be talked about is Todd Bowles with the facial hair. He got the little mustache, beard. Man, I like it on him. Like, he should continue that look, man. Like, that's a look. I'm Todd Bowles. Like, you see the energy y'all came out with, y'all spanking folks in Dallas. Yeah, keep that. Him and Lovie Smith, bro. Lovie Smith came hard with the facial hair game. The all white beard. Woo!
It looks so good. I don't mean this in like a fruity way, man, but it looks so good. It looked fake,
bro. Yeah.
It looked like one of the ones like, all right, I'm on Amazon. There's the beard I want.
That's a different type of energy, man. And I figure just since we're talking about that, can we talk about that Texans matchup, man, with the Colts today?
I did not think there'd be a tie in that game. Maybe
tie in week 1, man.
Week 1, man. It's like, goodness gracious, man. And I love Davis Mills, Damon Pierce. Oh man,
Davis Mills might really be a starting quarterback in this league, for real.
Dude, he's I saw flashes, and I'm like, when people were saying like, Doug, because I want to say I did maybe like 2 or 3 videos on the guy, or I've touched upon him in different episodes, kind of thing. And when I watch him, Adrian, it's like, okay, I could see it. You know, I need more time. I saw a lot today.
I saw a lot today, man. Like, I saw a lot today. Now, I know Colts fans are screaming, but we didn't have Shaq Leonard in there. I understand. Shaq Leonard is not on there. Yeah. Explain to me your QB play by Matt Ryan, then. Explain it to me.
Old stinky fart, man.
Like, can we all agree that he's well beyond Matty Ice? Like, he's just like, he's not that guy anymore. At least right now, like, he's not. And I would be happy to be wrong. I would be happy to restore that title back to him, that nickname back to him, if he comes out and proves it. It's week 1, right? So everything that we're talking about, probably going to be a lot of overreactions one way or the other. Overly good, overly bad. That's just what happens with week 1, right? But yeah, I like the fight that I saw from the Texans, man. I like what Lovey's doing. You can tell that he's kind of changing the culture, and I think it's very clear that Houston has turned the page on the last chapter that was down there with that last franchise quarterback that we're not going to talk about today. This is a team that's clearly ready to turn the page and start writing, a new chapter in their history books. And I don't see them as a playoff team. I don't see them as a playoff team. But I do think they're going to play spoiler for quite a few teams, and I don't think they're going to be the guy that you circle on your calendar. If you're playing the Texans this year, I don't think you circle that team and say, oh, that's going to be the easy game. Like, this is the get right game is going to be against the Texans. I don't think they're going to allow any of that this year.
Yeah, nah, man. The Texans, man, look, man, at one point in this year, don't quote me on this, Soup. I think it's around week 12 or 13. I'll go out and say it. I think the Texans are going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. And that's not something that regularly happens.
Based off of what I'm looking at tonight, yeah, sure. I'll take you on that.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm looking at their team, and their O-line is terrible. Look, man, you got Andy Dalton at this point in the game, man. It's just like, this is a bad team, man. And you know what? Good for this happening, Adrian, because you can't go paying everybody like a freaking quarterback. Not saying that happened, man, but you want to keep your players like, it also has to work too, because if you're not getting the results, you're not consistently hitting the playoffs, don't go paying everybody all crazy.
My thing is, why
spread the wealth?
Look, I hate to stay on the Cowboys, right? Because anybody that's ever listened to our show, y'all know how I feel about the Cowboys. But I will say this, right? If you are a Cowboys fan, you probably feel how I feel about your front office, particularly when it comes to Jerry Jones. Like, what in God's name is he paying for? He's paying all of these players exorbitant amounts of money, and it's questionable that they even should be getting paid. Now, quarterback is a different story, right? I don't care where you fall on Dak, good, bad, he's mediocre, whatever, right? Like, the quarterback position is such a must-have for any team that a lot of teams opt for, dancing with the devil that they know versus the one that they don't, right? Like with Dak, what you're getting out of him. But like, what are the chances that you're able to bring somebody into your organization that's at least his caliber or better, right? It's always going to be a crapshoot in the draft. Mm-hmm. And some of these top free agent quarterbacks coming on the market, like they don't come on the market as often now. I just said that in the last 2 years for free agent quarterbacks, like big brand name quarterbacks have been crazy, right? Yeah. Brady on the market going to Tampa, Stafford on the market going to the Rams, Russell Wilson on the market going to the Denver Broncos, right? So there's been a lot of big name quarterbacks moving around. That being said, that is a very, very rare occurrence. And I know you're like, oh, Adrian, you just said it's rare, but it just happened 3 years in a row. Yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
Enjoy this 3 years because I don't see it happening for like another decade or so.
Musical chairs is not common.
Yeah, it's not. And I don't think that's going to be indicative of the way that the NFL is going to be going forward. I just think that's what's going on right now. Now, we could possibly see one quarterback on the move next season. And if I did have to say what quarterback is going to be on the move next season, potentially, it's Lamar Jackson. And that's not and make no mistake, I'm not saying he's on the move because of anything that he does this season, like bad. I don't know if him and that front office can come to an agreement.
Yeah. He's such an electric player, man. I mean, you talk about moving the chains. He could do it with his arm and his legs. And I look at their receivers, and with the exception of one of them, I look at them and I'm just like, man, is this team really all in, right? You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, guess what? All in. Hey, look at that hat on your head, Adrian. That looks like the Los Angeles Rams. That looks like an all-in team. The Miami Dolphins, all in. Buffalo Bills, put my bias aside, all in. I don't see all in on the offensive side of the ball when it comes to the Buccaneers. I feel that I'm trying to find the right words. I feel
you
like
say the Bucks?
Or excuse me. Forgive me. Sorry. Baltimore Ravens. Sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Late at night. But man, like when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens, they are not all in on the offensive side when it comes to Lamar Jackson. I feel like they see him as somebody who's just going to get injured, and maybe they could get him for 4 years for $120 million or something. I don't know, man.
I don't think that's what's happening. I think they're happy with Lamar's play, and they're definitely happy with whatever he does in the offseason. Me and you talked offline about this, about how every year he comes back better and better as a passer, and he's bigger and he's massive, right? And this year, like, who's he throwing to? It doesn't matter. They won. Now, granted, they won against the Jets, but if you watch that game and you watch him go through his progressions, make his throws, make his reads and stuff like that, like, he looks good. Granted, I will preface it again saying it was against the Jets. Jets, however, are supposed to be much improved. Robert Saleh is supposed to be some kind of defensive wizard, right? Like, so at the end of the day, it's still professional football. The throws still count. That being said, it's not that I don't think that the Ravens are all in. I think they went with a guy in Hollywood Brown that they thought this is going to be a home run, and it wasn't, right? For whatever reason, whether there was tension with the front office, he's come back and said like, hey, their game plan their style of play doesn't really play to how I like to play the game. I want the ball in my hands, and they're kind of gravitating more towards the run game and then kind of the passing, and Mark Andrews getting being the number one target and stuff like that in that offense. He wanted to be a place where he was going to be a number one option. So, which is funny because he's only a number one option because DeAndre Hopkins is suspended, but that's another story. So I don't think it's for lack of trying for them to go all in, man. I just think that the picks that they've made haven't worked out. Hollywood Brown hasn't worked out. Miles Boykin hasn't worked out, right? I think they have, who is there now? Rashad Bateman?
Yeah, Rashad Bateman's there right
now. So maybe he'll pan out, right? Maybe Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews pans out, and then next year, right, they can continue to build through the draft and stuff like that. There's a lot of rumors swirling around Lamar Jackson's contract negotiations about the kind of deal that was offered to him that allegedly was
Miami rumors.
Yeah. I don't know why Miami keep sticking their nose in this stuff. Like, y'all had enough controversy last year. Like, just let Tua show you that he can or cannot be the franchise quarterback. Yeah, Dak is totally overpaid. And here's the thing. I knew Dak was overpaid the moment he signed that contract. Now, granted, David, we're talking about Dak being overpaid versus his production. I agree with you. But if you look at this crazy quarterback market, right, whether we agree with the talent, the market is the market. I don't think that Kyler Murray warranted the contract that he just got. I don't think that his level of play and the stuff that he's accomplished has warranted that, because him and Dak have pretty much accomplished the same thing. He's making considerably much more money than Dak Prescott. And that's just because, once again, the market is the market. Doug and I were talking offline. I'm pretty sure that the 3 eligibles next year that are supposed to be getting paid, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, we're going to see some contracts in the $300 million. Now, I know Patrick Mahomes is $500 million. Patrick Mahomes already done showing you that he's worth the money. 2 Super Bowl appearances, a Super Bowl win, and a league MVP. Like, and they're, they've been in the playoffs in that championship round. Like, the Chiefs know what they're doing. Okay. That being said, 100% agree. He's overpaid. McCarthy being terrible. I don't know once again, we talked about it at the top of the show. What makes you, as a Dallas Cowboys fan, think that you guys are magically going to be better this year than you were last year with less weapons on offense?
Yeah. I want to add in too, man, is correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be wrong. The Jimmy, I'm going to bring this full circle. The Jimmy Garoppolo contract several years ago, he didn't show nothing. It was like 5 games. It was the end of one season, beginning of another, and they gave him this massive contract. He was supposed to be the Messiah of the 49ers, right?
But you got to think about that in context, right?
Yeah. Kyle
Shanahan was on the hot seat early because he hadn't won and he was getting embarrassed because of the level of quarterback play that they had. I think C.J. Beathard was their starting quarterback at that point in time.
Yeah.
So him coming in and then winning out the rest of those games, they had been on a losing streak.
Yeah, but my thing is that set a trend. And I'm going somewhere with this. That set a trend for guys like Dak Prescott and other quarterbacks throughout the National Football League to take and get these massive contracts that they did not work for.
I'll disagree. I'll disagree with you.
I don't know.
I'll disagree with you only slightly. Yeah, Tom, you're 100% right. I heard that statement from Jerry Jones. I have to believe that 1 + 1 = 3, and I was like, yeah, that's right. And I get what he was trying to say. Where he's right, he has to just believe the outrageous and the completely untrue. But him thinking that 1 + 1 = 3 is the epitome of the Dallas Cowboys franchise. They're ignoring what the actual truth is and banking on some kind of fantasy. Some fantasy that they have yet to demonstrate in over 25 years.
Yeah. It gets to a point, man, you got to have other people in there, man. You got to have other people in there who are not you. Mm-hmm. And you got to give up the keys to the castle. I'm not saying you got to sell the team, man, though. A lot of people would really like that. Look, when it comes to his marketing skills, Jerry Jones is immaculate, man. He markets this team to a freaking powerhouse. No one does it better. But that's great. What about all the Dallas Cowboys fans? And this, what about all the fans who they've been riding with your team? You got to show them something, man. You got to show them something more than what you've been doing, man. And his way doesn't work. His way does not work. And I said this when he hired McCarthy. I like, man, he wants a yes man. And that's what McCarthy is.
100%. And yeah, 100%. And here's the thing, David, let me tell you this. Who do you think is going to inherit that franchise when he passes away? It's probably going to be his son. It's probably going to be Stephen Jones. And I have bad news for you. Stephen Jones kind of runs it very similar to his father. So don't think that it's going to get better when Stephen takes over. I just don't see it. I see it maybe being a little bit more practical, but I just don't see it. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'm calling whatever helicopter, private jet I need to. Please go find me Sean Payton.
Yeah,
I need him at the facility tomorrow.
What if that happens, though, Sue? What if that takes and that happens? What if Sean Payton becomes? I'm saying watch out for these Dallas Cowboys. They are going to be dangerous. But Sean Payton
maybe here's the thing, right? Sean Payton's an excellent coach. And I think he would improve that Cowboys. However, I go back to what I keep saying. I said it at the top of the show. I said it just a few minutes ago. This team will not be better with less talent on both sides of the ball. It just won't. Good coaching or not, they'll play better and be more competitive. They will not be better than what they produced last season. It just won't happen. If Sean Payton showed up today, he would still need an entire offseason to get this team going back in the right direction. Also, if Sean Payton shows up, Jerry Jones got to kind of let go of the reins of that team. So, like I said, Cowboys fans, no offense to any of y'all, I don't have no love for your franchise at all. Like, the fact that you guys haven't won anything in almost 3 decades is magical to me. And I hope that for as long as I live, I never see you guys win anything else again. Like, between you guys and the 49ers, if neither one of you guys won anything for the rest of my lifetime, I would not complain. However, I understand being a fan and wanting to see your team do well, and you're buying the merchandise and you're buying the tickets and you're investing your time on Sundays, and it sucks that every year it's the same old sad song. No matter how good they look in the beginning, how bad they look in the beginning, you know ultimately how it's going to end. It is a waking nightmare, and I had to do that for quite a few years with my franchise, and who knows, we might be headed back towards the dark ages. If you believe all the analysts and the headlines and the panic press after our game on Thursday, I might be headed there. But you know what? I'm headed there with a shiny ring, so I'll go back into the darkness quasi-happy. Kind of moving on. No future for the fans in Dallas. No future for the fans in Dallas. I mean,
nothing lasts forever, man. Nothing bad lasts forever, man. So Dallas fans, look, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe something good can happen from this. Look, I'm gonna share it because we got about 8 people here in the chat. Make sure you hit the subscribe. By the way, I'm gonna say this, man.
Hey, Doug, how long have you been waiting for your bad thing to end with the Dolphins?
Oh, it's already happened, man. Miami won today, but I'm gonna go somewhere with this. Dallas fans, rock with me for a minute here, okay? 3 years ago, Ross. Now, obviously, it went up in flames. We all know Brian Flores got fired, but he said that I never heard an owner say this before. I'm not doing a good job of running this team. Mm-hmm. I need to give a coach full control. And he did that. Now, obviously, he got fired and the allegations. I'm not here to talk about that. But if it could happen with Ross, a stubborn billionaire like Ross, it can happen to Jerry Jones. That's all that I'm saying. And Miami, look, they're all in on this. Let's see how the season goes. If you talk to me, my biasness kicks in. They're like, hey, playoff run. Let's see what happens. But it can happen. And look, honestly, I think, in my humble opinion, I think Dallas has a pretty bad year, but I think McCarthy's gone, and you get a outstanding coach, and I think you know who that is, Sean freaking Payton. I think you guys didn't get Sean Payton next year, but Sean Payton is not a yes man. You know what I mean? He's a guy of stature when it comes to how he is perceived on the field, and he knows how to build a team, let alone a Super Bowl team and a competing team.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Sean's old team. Let's talk about the Saints today versus the Falcons. That was a game that that was an interesting game, man. 27-26 victory for the Saints. Taysom Hill getting loose early, but wasn't the most entertaining storyline. Can't guard Mike is back. I don't know if y'all saw him. Slant God himself. Big performance out of him today. Really just a sloppy game by both teams, 100%. But it was, there were some things that you wanted to see. You wanted to see Jarvis Landry. You saw Chris Olave out there making a few plays, a 2-point conversion and stuff like that. And you saw Michael Thomas. I think, if Jameis Winston can be the high end of what he can be, this is a dangerous team offensively, especially, if they can get the run game going with that 2-headed monster, Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram. I think there's good stuff there. Having Taysom Hill as that gadget tight end, whatever the heck he is, I think is good. Atlanta, a lot feistier than I thought they would be. That's what you want to see from a team that, moved off of its longtime franchise quarterback. Marcus Mariota is He's a placeholder. He's warm in the seat, and we know that he's warm in the seat. I would not be shocked if we see Desmond Ridder before week 6.
Yeah. No, I feel like when it comes to Ridder, it's the same thing I feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, the rookie that they just picked
Kenny
up.
Pickett. Yep.
Kenny Pickett. Like at one point in time, the steam is gonna keep rising to the top of the pot, and that top of that pot is gonna go flying. Let me say, Desmond Ridder is gonna see. I have him coming out by maybe week 7. That's my prediction.
Well, and like I said, there's not a whole lot to talk about in the Saints Falcons game, so I'm not going to stay on it. But what I will we'll go on that Steelers Bengal game, man. Look, from the jump, the Steelers defense came alive. Mika Fitzpatrick just justified his entire contract with his performance today. That defense was hungry, creating turnovers. I think they had like 4 or 5 turnovers, right? They had, pick 6 early with Mika scoring the first touchdown of the game. That being said, when you get that amount of turnovers and your offense doesn't generate anything, now I get it. I know Najee went down. But Trubisky, we know what he is, man. We know what he is. We 1,000% know what he is. I think it's going to be hard to satiate those Pittsburgh Steelers fans when you see your defense playing the way that they played today, and it came down to a bunch of missed kicks in overtime, and you saw how electric Pickett was in the preseason. Now, I don't know if that transfers into the regular season, but what I do know is that the fans have seen something. He's young. He's new. They want to see him on the field. You have to believe that maybe he can provide a bigger spark for this offense than what Mitchell Trubisky did today. And that's not to say that Trubisky did a terrible job today, but once again, when your defense is creating that many opportunities for your offense, and you do essentially nothing with it, something has to give, right? And I'm speaking from firsthand experience because anybody who watched that game Thursday night with the Rams created 4 turnovers on defense. Offense generated 3 points off of 4 turnovers. Something has to give. You have to contribute. You have to play complementary football. It goes both ways, and I'm pretty sure I don't even have to watch the Mike Tomlin press conference. I'm pretty sure that if I go watch it right now, he's saying something about offense needing to play complementary football, especially with the defense playing lights out. Bad news for Pittsburgh. It does sound like TJ Watt tore his pec. Don't know how much time he's going to make or how much time he's going to miss because of that. I don't know the extent of the Najee Harris injury, but those are 2 key players on both sides of the ball that this team is going to need if they're going to want to remain competitive in that division. So I hope those guys get up soon, and I hope that they're able to heal up. And I'm gonna say it because it need to be said. I do not know what it is with the Watt family, but once those guys get their contracts, the injuries follow. And I hate it for them because they're very high caliber players. It's just a trend, man. It's just a trend. I don't know if there's something in their DNA where they're like, hey, you get 4 or 5 years of excellent football, but then the rest of it is going to be plagued with injury.
You're going to be teasing the world kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I know exactly what you're saying, man. And then I don't know if you noticed, I mean, he got back up, so I don't think it's serious, but, there was a Mixon got injured. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'll say this about the Bengals, man, and then we'll move on to the next topic. But, man, when it comes to Cincinnati Bengals, I've noticed a few of their players are very you and I were talking about this offline. They're very jiggy. They're very flashy. They dress real nice, and they got the diamonds showing and everything. Man, my whole thing is that's great and well, but you better back it up with your work ethic, man, because I saw sloppy play today. And then I'll check out Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, back when he was a player in the NFL. Yeah, he did all that. But guess what, man? His work ethic showed that. He even was talking that talk when he got inducted into the Football Hall of Fame. I said to say this, man. Stay humble, folks. Stay humble, stay hungry, man, because don't be so complacent,
I just need those of you out there in the social media universe, those analysts, anybody. I need y'all to keep that same energy with Joe Burrow, Joey Brr, whatever y'all want to call him. That same slander that y'all was giving my guy Matt Stafford, the guy that's responsible for the 2 greatest receiving seasons in the history of the NFL, the guy that just won the Super Bowl. I need y'all to give Joe Burrow the same slander that you give him Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear it because Matt Stafford played a good defense too. And Joe Burrow got 3 interceptions. Matt Stafford got a bunch of interceptions on Thursday night. Let's keep it all the way funky. Keep it equal. If you're going to slander the guy that just got the ring, I want you to slander the guy that was in contention to get it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, no, was it 4 interceptions? I thought I saw
3 minimum. I know that for sure. It was terrible. Like I said,
absolutely terrible,
ugly game. Ugly game. Their long snapper went down. I mean, God, bro, in the early window today, so many missed kicks. I never seen so many missed kicks in my life in week 1.
I have McPherson on my fantasy too, man.
Man, the block, like I said, Minka Fitzpatrick blocking it, poetry. He ended the day how he started it, making plays, bro, making plays. I loved it. I loved watching it. Dang near every team I wanted to lose today lost -1, but I absolutely loved it. I'm just looking at this slate, man. We did Falcons. We talked tonight's game. We just talked Bengals. Let's talk some revenge, man. Let's talk revenge. Let's talk about what happens when you let a dog off the leash in Carolina. Let's talk about it.
Man, so I did a video today. For those who are watching, go on my YouTube, same channel, and I talked about the Baker Mayfield T-shirts. And I made a comment. I was like, man, how stupid will Baker Mayfield look to release this T-shirt? And this wasn't like his marketing team, man. It was you, bro. And saying that he's off the leash. And it was just like, man, just I hate to say shut up and play football because I'm a freedom of expression guy for everybody. But Baker, specifically for you, man, shut up and play football, man. My man, like you it was a close game and you made some awesome throws. And I think a lot of the reason why you lost is just you gelling with your new teammates. You only been on the team for 2 months now, right? But man, like what's going to happen with those T-shirts? Is there going to be like a sale on bakermayfield.com or like anybody who has that shirt, are they going to light it on fire? Like I love how he's trying to bring attitude to a new team. I don't have no problem with that, man. It's just like it just kind of becomes a off-field distraction.
I was hoping that the offseason that Baker Mayfield had was going to kind of change how he was going to take this approach when he got his new opportunity. And I get it, right? You feel slighted. And I think, and honestly, and this is me keeping it all the way 1,000 with you guys. I do think he has a right to feel how he feels with how things shook out in Cleveland, especially what he did, what he was able to do during his time in Cleveland, particularly last season, man, him playing through those injuries. I mean, a really gutsy performance. No, he's not a perfect quarterback, right? He's not a perfect quarterback. And, you know, when he's bad, he's bad. But when he's on, right? And there was just a lot of bad things that happened last season that people want to lay at Baker Mayfield's feet. But it ain't just all him. There's 10 other guys on that offense. There's 11 other guys on the defense that are responsible for the season that the Browns had last year. I think it's really unfair to do that. And I think, you know, he feels cast off. And I think you should have that chip on your shoulder. But I definitely think there's a different way to go about it. I don't know how to tell the man how to feel about going against the team that packed you up and sent you off. Yeah, I think today meant something to him. And you would hope that the rest of the season means just as much to him. But that being said, like I said, the shirts and stuff, is it on brand for who he is as a person, who he's shown us who he's been? Yeah, it's pretty on brand for Baker. But you had just hoped that, man, maybe he was going to do something a little bit different given this new opportunity. But we'll see what happens, right? Once again, week 1, there's no need to overreact. They played a good game. Baker made mistakes. Jacoby Brissett wasn't perfect, but the difference between him and them is they've got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, who had a day today, right? And Christian McCaffrey didn't hear his number called a whole bunch today. So, Matt Rule is over there fighting to keep his job. You can't make me believe that Matt Rule isn't fighting to keep his job this season. And Baker Mayfield knows that there's, Sam Darnold's injured, but he knows when Darnold comes back, like if he doesn't put together some good games, if he doesn't string together some good performances, it's a very real, proposition that Sam Darnold gets a start over him. And I don't think that Sam Darnold's the better quarterback, but we're gonna have to see what it has. So I said, interesting game for him. I would have loved for him to beat the Browns just because me personally, I enjoy Baker's energy. At times I find him not to exercise that attitude at the right time, but I enjoy his energy as a fan from an entertainment perspective. I enjoy that energy. I think it's misplaced, misdirected a lot at times, but man, I would have loved to hear that post-game speech had they been able to pull off the win. But as fate would have it, it wasn't meant to be.
No, it definitely wasn't, man. And man, if it was week one, not realizing that, holy cow, Deshaun Watson is super rusty. He's been away from the game for a year and a half, right? That I was probably thinking, oh yeah, they're gonna run away with this. But then after I said that on Twitter, said something like that, they're gonna destroy the Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield gets traded over, and I'm like, goodness gracious. Again, like you, man, I love the attitude that he brings, man. You got to back it up a little more on the field, man. It's almost like Rex Ryan, man. Remember when Rex Ryan was in the league, and he would talk all kinds of crazy stuff about the Patriots, about who he was playing, and it was fun, man. It was great to take and see. But then guess what, man? That didn't turn to wins, and he had put unnecessary pressure on his team. Again, fun at the time, man, but it got to be dubs that you're getting out there, man.
100%. Can we talk about my favorite game of the day?
Yeah, let's get it, man.
Let's talk 49ers Bears. Let's talk 49ers Bears.
Yeah.
Just a disgusting, sloppy, beautiful game.
Wet. It was wet out there, man.
Man, all you 49er faithful, y'all sure were chirping real loud on Thursday night talking about how ass my team was and how terrible my quarterback was and all of this and all of that. And I'm pretty sure you guys just lost to probably one of the bottom 5 teams in the NFL right now today. And not by one, missed kick. No, y'all lost by 9. I don't want to hear about the rain. Let's get that out the way right now. I don't want to hear about the rain. I don't want to hear about the weather. Kyle Shanahan specializes in running teams. You guys have played in disgusting weather. I just watched y'all in Lambeau last year during the divisional round in disgusting weather. That team is built for disgusting weather, okay? Debo, that's a hybrid receiver, running back. I get it. Elijah Mitchell got hurt. I don't want to hear it. Save the excuses. Everybody's getting hurt. Everybody's dealing with injuries. Save the excuses. I heard Trey Lance was going to be your savior. I heard it. I don't know what happened today, man. Justin Fields with much less to work with than Trey Lance over in San Francisco got it done. Oh, we didn't have George Kittles. Man, spare me all y'all excuses. I thought you guys were the better team coming into this matchup. I thought your defense was top tier, elite. That's what you guys have been made to believe in the offseason. And as loud as the disrespect is on Thursday, I want the slander today to be louder. You guys had no business losing to the Chicago Bears. You guys should have won that game handedly, rain or no rain. The Bears had to play in the same weather that you guys had to play in. Save the excuses for somebody that cares. I loved this game. I loved it. It was when Justin Fields did that slide at the end, when the game was over, they took the knee. Oh, highlight of my Sunday. Easily.
I love it, man. I had the 49ers probably winning this one like 25-12 or something, man. That was bad 49ers, man. And you know what? I think I know why they kept Jimmy G.
We all know why they kept Jimmy G, because regardless of what they keep putting out in the headlines, they do not trust Trey Lance. They don't. I've said this last season. You guys can go back and watch all the old episodes if you want to, especially down the stretch. I've said it there. I said it earlier this season. I do not understand if you have a rookie quarterback, right? And he's as good as you guys keep saying that he is, that he's all this and whatever. He's the next coming, the next Patrick Mahomes, however you guys want to phrase it, right? He's your franchise savior. Explain to me why Jimmy Garoppolo with a busted throwing arm and a busted thumb on his throwing hand was still playing in the playoffs when Trey Lance was healthy. Don't give me that he was a rookie stuff, because if he really was as talented as you guys keep touting him to be, there's no reason you guys would have willed Jimmy Garoppolo out there for that playoff stretch last year. And if he was really as good as you believe, there's no reason that he sits on the 49ers roster this year. And don't give me that, oh, well, it's just a smart move because he knows the system and stuff like that. Historically, when these rookie quarterbacks come on, and they're who the franchise believes them to be, the person that was there before leaves the franchise. Don't believe me? Colin Kaepernick comes on. Alex Smith is there, serviceable, getting them to the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick emerges, takes them to the Super Bowl. They ultimately end up losing that Super Bowl. Where does Alex Smith go the next season?
Redskins.
Is he on this?
Kansas City.
He goes to Kansas City.
Yeah.
So he's not on the team, even though he knows the system. He'd be the perfect backup.
Yeah.
No, where did they ship him to? They ship him to Kansas City. Poor Alex Smith, because guess what? He's example number 2. When Patrick Mahomes came out and he emerged as the franchise quarterback, Alex Smith was serviceable, getting them into the playoffs, right? Keeping them at the top of the division. What happened when Patrick Mahomes came out? Where did they send Alex Smith?
Yeah.
They sent him to Washington.
Yep. Where dreams go.
But it doesn't make sense. He was with Andy Reid. He knows the playbook. He knows the system. He would be the perfect backup. You know what the difference between Colin Kaepernick, Patrick Mahomes? I'll give you one more. Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson, when he came out, and it was decided, oh, he's the franchise quarterback. Where did they send Joe Flacco? To the Jets.
Jets, yeah.
To the Jets.
Yeah.
When your young superstar quarterback emerges, the incumbent leaves.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if he knows the system.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if he's familiar with the locker room.
Happened with Fitzpatrick and Tua in Miami.
He leaves.
Yeah.
The only reason he stays is if you don't believe that the young guy is ready.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. And on that note, man, it's nuts, man, because, Trey Lance, we see stuff on practice. That's practice, my guy. I even saw him chuck it to our guy, Danny Gray, who's a fan of the show. We've interviewed him, man.
Danny Gray's great. I think he's going to be phenomenal. I know I'm slandering his quarterback, and honestly, I don't like your team, bro. But I ain't got no issue with you as a human being.
Yeah, no, same here, man. No, it's just Trey. I mean, you know what it was. I mean, Adrian, you and I were both in our early 30s, man. And I'm not sure if anybody is up our age or older, but how it was growing up, before you were like a starter, man, you had to sit for 3 years, or you started and it took a while for you to get better. There was that development period. Now the talent pool is so big coming out of of college football that they're expecting people to start rookie year, and then if you're not progressing by your second year, you're out of there, man.
Hey, I got one more example for you. Yeah. I just thought about it. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. When it was decided that Aaron Rodgers was the guy, where did they send Brett Favre? They sent him to the Jets, and then the Jets sent him to Minnesota. Real quick, Doug, got some breaking news for you.
Oh, what happened?
Dak Prescott is headed for surgery.
His thumb.
He's going to have surgery on his right thumb. He's expected to miss multiple weeks.
Goodness gracious.
So, Cowboys fans, congratulations. Your season just went from bad to worse.
I told you, bro, 4 games, bro. Remember, I caught it. I don't know. I don't wish bad seasons on nobody.
I'm not gonna lie. I wish bad seasons on teams. I do.
Yeah. Hey, can we go off the record real quick? Mm. I'll let you go first. I'll go second. Which teams do you? I'll let you have as many as you want. Which teams do you dislike the most in the NFL?
I already said it. I said it earlier. If the 49ers and the Cowboys never won another game for as long as I'm alive, or until the end of time, I would be happy.
Okay.
I would not feel sorry for those fan bases.
My lists are a little bit longer. Jets have been bad forever, but it's not really that. I'd have to say right now, Buffalo Bills. I respect the heck out of them. Buffalo Bills, I can't stand them. For those who don't know, just tune in the show. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. We cover the whole entire NFL, but I'm a Fins fan, just like my guy here's a Rams fan. The New England Patriots, today's victory was just delicious. I'm going to shock you here. I also don't like the 49ers too. I lived in a place called San Diego, California in the 90s, and they were so loud and annoying, along with the Cowboys. I can't stand the Cowboys neither, man. So for me, it's 49ers, Cowboys, Green Bay Packers, actually. I think their jerseys are so ugly, man. And why is there team in Wisconsin? I have no freaking clue. I get Detroit. Guess what? They play in a freaking dome. But yeah, it would be those teams, all my competitors in the AFC East and those three.
Let me give you an honorable mention. The Chargers. Y'all are edging up there onto the list of teams that I want never to win another game.
Oh, y'all share a stadium, man.
No. They share a stadium with us. We don't share nothing with them. Not no championship, not no banners, not no rings. Hell, not even fans. We don't share none of that with them. No profits, nothing. So, but the way that they keep talking like they've actually done anything in the history of their actual franchise, yeah. Mm-hmm. All this we run LA stuff. Since when? Y'all didn't even run San Diego. Hence the fact that y'all ain't even there no more. So y'all are quickly going to end up on this list of teams that I hope never win anything for ever and ever. Amen.
Yeah. Nah, man. San Diego, man. Shoot. I don't know if I told you this. I got jumped by Chargers fans. I was going to Ainger Elementary School, which is actually a 7 to 8 minute drive from Qualcomm Stadium in Serra Mesa. It's a section of San Diego, and I'm rocking my Dan Marino jersey. It's 1998 or 99, one of those years, and I'm walking home, and some gross-looking ginger said, "Hey, man," he looked like the bad guy from Toy Story, Sid. "Hey, man, take off that jersey, man, you mother," and he said a whole bunch of expletives I'm not going to repeat. And, X-Pac was big. Wrestling was big. Mm-hmm. So I went like this, and I went, "Suck it!" And he started chasing on me, and they got a few licks on my back, man, but, I smacked the arms away, but they started punching my back hella hard and grabbing my jersey. It got all stretched out, man, and I, hit the wrist away, and I kept going, man. That's why I learned to run fast. But, yeah, I can't stand Chargers fans. It's so – but I'll say this, man, the Chargers fans who are loyal are super loyal. I tell you, man, it had to have been like maybe 60 days living in San Diego where I learned who Stan Humphries was and Dan Fouts. And I learned about the game versus the Miami Dolphins, which is to this day, they call it the hardest. What happened to my internet? Soup, you still there?
I'm here, man.
Oh, okay. It looks like I froze on my screen. Sorry about that. But yeah, looks like the hardest game ever played. They actually ended up beating us, man. We went to like triple overtime or something crazy like that back in the 70s. But that's when Kellen Winslow Sr., tight end, played for them back in the day. But yeah, I can't stand. I think I'm there with you with the Chargers, man. They're so annoying, bro. I never healed from that.
Y'all are this close. I want to I'm gonna give you the rest of the San Antonio. I'm gonna give y'all to the rest of the season to get some act right in your system, but y'all that close.
Yeah, I got a comment here. I'm gonna try to post on my screens, being a little janky here.
So yeah, put it up. So Jonathan, here's the thing, man. I don't think that he's rooting for them to never win like they didn't earn. It has nothing to do with their current level of success. Yeah, it has nothing to do with their current level of success. It's one of those things, man. Like if you, especially a rivalry team, like if you just hate them, you just hate them. It doesn't matter. Like it does. Like you can respect the journey and still respect the journey of the Bills. But I'm telling you right now, if I was in that division and you guys were my rival, I respect the journey. I respect everything that you guys have ever went through. I respect how close you got last year and was denied the opportunity to go and compete for a Super Bowl and stuff like that. Like, I get it. I get the passion. But at the same time, like, if I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. It has nothing to do with what you did or haven't earned. Like, that doesn't change my feelings about how I feel about your franchise. I can still talk objectively about you. I still talk objectively about the 49ers. But you ask my personal opinion, I want them to never win again a game ever again for the rest of time. And I'm pretty sure that's how Doug feels when it comes to the Bills. Has nothing to do with what they're actually doing.
Yeah, I don't like. But look, man, I sit next to a guy who's a hardcore Bills fan. He's from Western New York and everything, man. He's Buffalo build out. He roasts me. That's my guy right there, man. Shout out to Chad if you're watching this episode, by the way. So yeah, I could still have love and compassion for Josh Allen. I can't help but to love him.
He's a great player.
I can't help but to love him.
He's a great player.
He's a better version of Cam Newton, in my opinion. Both throwing and running. I love it, man. I love what they're. I'm removing my biasness here. I love everything, man. That from people smashing, jumping on tables, the whole Bills Mafia thing,
all of that stuff. And here's the thing: like those people, like are cool. Like, it's not anything that the franchise is doing.
Yeah,
it's just.
It's a rivalry thing, man. That's all it is. It
is what it is. My sister and my brother-in-law are both 49ers fans. I don't feel any kind of different way about them. I just hate their team and I want them to never win. Yeah. And I want my siblings to experience eternal sadness forever and ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't realize I put how was your most hated team. I can't spell it.
It's all right. But let's get back to some games, man. Let's talk Eagles and Lions, right? Let's talk a little Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
High scoring affair. I think it was the highest scoring affair of the day, 38-35 victory for the Eagles, man. I am on one hand excited what I saw from Detroit today, because it looked like a team that was reinvigorated, re-energized, right? Like, I think if you're a Lions fan, there's a lot to be hopeful for. There's a lot to be excited about. But at the same time, man, I had this just gross feeling in my gut that was like, are these going to be the same Lions from last year? They just score more points. Like, they just lose these close games in the most heartbreaking fashion. Like, are these Detroit fans in for another season of that? Because you don't deserve it, right? Like, Hard Knocks was phenomenal. Dan Campbell, the fact that they were giving away Dan Campbell bobbleheads at the game tonight is brilliant marketing, right?
Yeah.
I love
Motor City Man.
I love his personality. I love the energy he brings to the team. I love the way that the team scrapped. I love the way that they fought today. Like I said, I think there's a lot to be excited about. Eagles. My little brother is an Eagles fan. He has a lot to be excited about. Jalen Hurts, dangerous with the legs. We kind of saw it with his arm. He's still struggling with some of that accuracy stuff, but A.J. Brown is going to help a lot with that. And that is a grown man. Like, you better make sure that you're wrapping up and tackling him for real. That defense, the defense didn't play. Let's be honest. Neither defense played that well. Anytime you got 30, you got scores in the 30s for both teams, you can't really say, either defense played particularly well. But I think both of those teams are going to be fun and entertaining to watch. I think anybody who had the Cowboys pick to be the champions at the NFC East, I don't know what it is.
Just started watching football.
Yeah, I don't know. But for me, it's got to be the Eagles or the Commanders based off of just, if you're going based off of what you see today, it's got to be the Eagles or the Commanders taking the East. Me personally, I think it'll be the Eagles, but we'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's see this comment. Oh, what the hell are people?
Nah, it's a bot, bro.
Your love. Oh, man, the bots got us, man.
The bots got us.
Let's see. This is next one. Have a good time. Find your love.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all find your love, especially if y'all was on the losing end of a week one game. Trust me, I've been trying to find my love since Thursday, bro. It's been rough. So we appreciate you, whatever that is, 69mega.com for spreading the love.
I feel like it's a Nigerian prince, or like it's a 70-year-old sugar mama from Vietnam.
Let's talk about those other guys that I just said could probably take the East. Let's talk about those Washington Commanders. Let's talk about Carson Wentz taking command today against the Jaguars, right? And I know it's the Jaguars. Carson Wentz looked good. Terry McLaurin is Terry McLaurin, but more importantly, Jahan Dotson.
Yeah,
he's
Dotson
out.
looked good.
Oh, he looked great today. He's going to be a weapon for this offense. I think Gibson had probably one of his better days. I think their backfield is in a good position. The defense was pretty suffocating. You got the edge rush, Montez Sweat, Josh Allen were teeing off today. There was a lot of good things. If you're a Commanders fan, once again, a lot of good things to be excited about. Our brother Isaac, who's also a co-host of the show, I was just watching his Twitter feed all day. I hate to be the guy to step on his parade. No, I don't. That's just who I am naturally. Like, man, enjoy it, right? It's a win. You got to celebrate it. It looks good. You see things that you haven't seen in Washington in a long time. Those shots down the field, him orchestrating that game-winning drive. Carson Wentz got about 4 or 5 more performances like that left him in the season. Just historically, that's who he is. He's going to give you about 6 of those every single year, and then the rest is going to be making you want to pull your hair out. That's just the way it is. On the other side of that, the Jacksonville Jaguars, man, all those moves that they made in the offseason, the nonsense that they started with the receiver market, trading for Christian Kirk and inflating all of these receiver contracts, did not pay off at all.
Yeah.
The only good thing that I can say about that offense today is they scored. Doug Peterson wasn't at some kind of weird strip club at the end of this, filling on some girl, and he wasn't kicking kickers. So that was like the highlight of it. Yeah, that was the highlight of it, man. That offense, and I get it, it's week 1, right? They're adjusting to a new scheme, they're adjusting to a new coach, right? It just didn't look good today, man. The offense didn't look good at all. The defense, the defense of the Jaguars, I quite enjoyed. I think they're making a step in the right direction. But that offense looks just bad for week 1. Just bad.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. It's a good win for them, because they got it's a new quarterback coming into a new system. But as you and I were talking before, we've seen Carson Wentz before. I remember, shout out to Philly the podcast. I remember being on his show about a year ago, actually a little over a year ago, and this is before he went over to the Colts. Yeah, it was probably close to 2 years ago, actually. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, I was like, "Hey, man, I said Carson Wentz is a new age Phillip Rivers. He's a statistical warrior, and he's never going to take you to where you want to go." And people came after my throat. Now you see everything's Jalen Hurts, everything, man. I want an apology from some of these fans, man. I'm gonna go back on that show eventually. See if I get an invite again. But man, they came. It was like, Doug, it was like 60 people live, bro, just lighting me up, man. Oh man, you idiot, you're stupid. I stand my ground.
Well, look, since we saying things that people think are outrageous at the time that hopefully we'll be able to come back and cash in on later, I'm gonna go ahead and jump out the window and say this. I do not believe that Chase Young will make it to his next contract with the Commanders. I don't think he will. I think if that Commanders defense continues to play at the level that they played today, generating that pass rush without a Chase Young, I think he becomes a more valuable chess piece than he does a player for them.
Yeah.
And once again, this is not a comment on Chase Young as a talent, as a player. I just think from the business side, the strategic side of football, I think they could net quite a few pieces, picks, other things that they may need on that team for a young talent like Chase Young, somebody that wants to take a chance on him, even though he's been plagued with injuries. I don't think that he gets that contract. So, like I said, we'll continue to monitor that situation. I think, Doug, the next team I'd like to talk about, because it is September 11th. I can't believe that we now live in a time where there are people that are alive that are not like children that don't really understand what this day is about or didn't personally witness it. Is kind of weird when the things that you lived through are now written in history books. So that being said, right, we know what this day is all about. I thought that it was poetic that a New York football team actually won a football game today, with the Giants winning 21-20 over the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
I felt like, I don't know why, man. I just felt like it was a big win for the team, big win for the country. I know it sounds crazy, right? Like, it just sounds crazy. I think I'm reading too much into what today is, but I just think like it's a big moment for New York. And on top of that, probably one of the best things that's happened today, seeing Saquon Barkley look like Saquon Barkley again. Like 18 carries, 164 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 9.1 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Man, I am glad that performance was not wasted on a loss. Granted, it came down to, we talked about it earlier, some bizarre field goals being missed, right? Like the Titans should have just drilled that and it goes wide, allowing the Giants to win the game. But man, oh man, like what a gutsy performance today by a Giants team that's still trying to figure themselves out. I think, who's that? Brian Dable that's down there that's trying to get that culture turned around. This is really a prove it year for Daniel Jones. Is he the guy? I don't believe that he is. I think Dable already knows early that he's not, but you got to be happy about some of the stuff that you saw out there. A lot of those rumors about, maybe them wanting to move off of Saquon. I think if he continues to run at this clip and stays healthy and begins to look at himself, I don't think that he's on that market anymore. If anything, he's probably catching a franchise tag because I think he's going to want to get paid, but I think his injury history rightfully gives New York reason. Yeah, rightfully gives New York a reason to say, hey, pause. We want to, it's not that we don't like you. It's just, you have to understand you haven't been available for the majority of your career. So yeah, man, it was good to see Ryan Tannehill. I don't want to discount the Titans. We know how his season ended last year. A lot of ugly picks down the stretch in crunch time when they really needed him to be on fire. And he looked good today, right? He looked good. No AJ Brown. He was throwing a lot of good balls out there today. Derrick Henry had a few explosives. 21 carries, 82 yards. He's still working back from that foot injury. But I think he will return to form. I don't think he'll end up being a rushing leader for us anymore, but I think he's going to be one of those more formidable players. Dontrell Hilliard today was the receiving king for them, right? That their second string running back in Tennessee. 3 receptions, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that offense continues to evolve. Especially, I was rooting for the Titans today just because my boy Robert Woods, ex-LA Rams, he was there, but he didn't get a lot of burn today, man. He only had 2 targets and caught 1 pass for 13 yards, so it wasn't nothing crazy. There really wasn't a lot of crazy offense, like I said, for the Titans, man. It was really a tight game, and the Giants defense showed up in a big way and kind of limited their production today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, man, it was dope, man, to see folks run out there, American flag, man. And New York has seen better days, man, and to win on a day like today and what it symbolizes for this country, the unity at a time where we're more divided than ever, man. Politically, oh man, it's so crazy, man. So what better than the great sport of football to take and make it happen? And for the Giants to win, it's a great dub, man, for sure, man.
It's a great Giant fans, New York. Enjoy this win tonight, man, because it's the Giants. You don't know how many more you're going to get.
It's gonna be a long year too,
Right. So let's talk about another team that in the offseason we were already talking about the demise of this certain individual. Some people had held this game as a potential Super Bowl preview. You know what I'm talking about. The Chiefs, the Cardinals. What? Oh, y'all confused like I am too? Y'all didn't think that was going to be a Super Bowl preview either? Yeah, me neither. But some people out here saying that that's a Super Bowl preview. Y'all, let me tell you something. If you guys really think that the Cardinals are going to the Super Bowl, you have not been watching football for a long time.
Not with this quarterback. Nope.
Not with this coach.
Yeah. He's so overrated, man. He's
I had heard that Patrick Mahomes was going to struggle this year. I had also heard that somehow Josh Allen had supplanted him. I had heard that he was going to miss Tyreek Hill. That's what I had heard. Doug, I don't know if you had heard similar things.
I heard, man. They're acting like, man, Juju Smith-Schuster ain't on the team. MVS, Marquez Valdes-Scantling ain't on the team.
McCole Hardman is still who has been a weapon. But most importantly, do you know who's still on the team catching passes from Patrick Mahomes?
Kelsey.
And until he's not,
yeah.
If something happened to Kelsey, then okay. There might be a little bit of concern. But buddy,
Mahomes is the best. He's the best in football, man. He is the best quarterback, like skill for skill, his feet, his accuracy, his yardage.
He's the best until he's not.
Yeah, he's the best until he's not. Someone knock him off.
And I understand the praise for Josh Allen. Once again, I'm not discounting anything that Josh Allen has done. Right? I think he's a good quarterback. And if you told me, hey, would you guys want to trade Matt Stafford for Josh Allen straight up? Look, Rams fan base, don't be mad at me. I would take that deal yesterday. Okay. Yeah. That being said, in no way, shape, or form has he surpassed Patrick Mahomes until he proves that he's actually done it on a football field.
Yeah.
That's not the case. It's just not the case. Like Patrick Mahomes, if Josh Allen, like if Patrick Mahomes is your one, then Josh Allen's got to be two. Yeah. Search and destroy. What's up, man? But yeah, man, Patrick Mahomes, 30 for 39, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That doesn't look like a person that misses Tyreek Hill. He looks like a guy that's going back to the well, going back to Old Faithful. Travis Kelce, 8 receptions, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire having himself a day today, right? I think this is the first time that we've actually seen Clyde Edwards-Helaire be an actual relevant factor since game 1 of his rookie season. So 2 touchdowns on the ground for him today. That was 42 yards rushing, nothing impressive there, but 32 yards receiving. So, about 74 yards overall production. But the team looked good. Defense looked good. Cardinals look overwhelmed and overmatched, despite a very what's supposed to be high-powered offense. Yes, they are down DeAndre Hopkins. Mm-hmm. But this offense still features James Conner, Rondale Moore, AJ Green, Hollywood Brown, Zach Ertz. Like, you get it, right? You get it.
Yeah.
Search and destroy. It was an exciting football day. And we've been talking all about it, man.
Yeah, from Thursday to now and then even tomorrow night, man, you got the Denver Broncos facing us against the Seattle Sea Turds.
That should be a massacre.
Yeah, I do. Honestly, bro, I see Denver. I think it's going to be a slow start, man. Slow first half, but I think second half will come. I got Denver winning 25-14.
Oh, wow. You're being very conservative, and you need to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. It is not going to be pretty for Seattle. And that's not just this game. That's all season for Seattle. So let's just get that out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, search and destroy. I'm curious, man, what you think is going to be interesting about Monday. Is it just the fact that Russ going against his old team, or do you actually think that that's a viable matchup there?
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be a slaughter. There's nothing that Seattle has on either side of the ball roster-wise that I think Denver needs to be afraid of at all.
Yeah, man. It's the only reason I would give it more if it was like week 6. You know what I mean? Just it's week 1, and a lot of teams have like slow halves. You know what I mean? Especially teams that are like they got a whole bunch of new players or they got a brand new quarterback, right? So, yeah, should be interesting, man. But yes, I'd be so shocked if Seattle turn it out, and I do not see that happening, man, at all whatsoever. Not happening.
Yeah, just want to put a button on the Kansas City Arizona Cardinals thing, right? Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, look, you guys see it. Obviously, I don't give a rip about the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I don't hate them. I don't give a rip about them. I think they get talked about way too much. I think the fact that Kyler Murray got his contract extension, like, you guys are stuck with him now. For better or for worse, you're stuck with him because that's not a contract that you can just easily shed. Unlike your head coach, who I think you can and you will shed his contract early. Not this year, next year. I could see Kingsbury being gone because I continue to beat on the drum. Like, somebody explain to me what the actual offensive game plan for Arizona is. Because from what I can tell, it's Kyler Murray run around until somebody gets open.
Running around, and it's like, all right, he catches people on slants a lot.
And they look good early. They always do. They always come out playing well early. In this case, not so much, but they ran into a buzzsaw that's Kansas City Chiefs. What did you expect? But yeah, they're gonna win some games this year. They're gonna win some games this year just because Kyler Murray's got too much talent for them not to. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a long season for Cardinals fans, Chiefs fans. Go ahead and even though that division is wild, I don't think that the Chiefs fans have too much to sweat. It's going to be a tough competition, but like, Mahomes is still Mahomes, and he looked very much like it. So yeah. Search and Destroy was just talking about that earlier, man. We caught it breaking on the show. It's more bad news for the Cowboys fans. It's not like it's new bad news. It's not like, oh man, now the season is bad. Like, they were in trouble long before this happened because Mike McCarthy's still their coach and they have no real weapons on offense outside of CeeDee Lamb So yeah, this is it's unfortunate for them. It's unfortunate for them. It's going to be a long season because we don't know how long he's going to be out. My guess would probably be about 2 to 4 weeks with that hand injury, but you never know, especially that's on his throwing hand and that thumb. You need that to grip the ball. My best thing that I could tell you is if I was him, I'd be placing a call to Russell Wilson, who went through a similar thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe they can use the same doctor.
Or he can call his new head coach's best friend, Drew Brees, who also went through a similar thing.
Yeah, he did have that. It was like 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was. Yep.
So I'm just looking at. I'm just looking through this slate, man. I just want to see. I think we're just really down to 2 games that we haven't really covered or talked much about today.
We'll hit on a high level.
Yeah, Raiders and Chargers, man. This is going to be that's going to be a grudge match when they meet up again in the season. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't expect the Chargers to come out and win. They should have won this game. I thought that they would have won more handedly, but the Raiders continue to put up a fight. And like I said, the Raiders have weapons. Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams now. Josh Jacobs got some touches out there. Like, if Derek Carr can control the ball better and not give the ball away 3 times, and no, I don't want to take anything away from the Chargers. They have a defense that's built to take away the ball. That's going to happen. But, without those 3 turnovers, I think this is a different game, and I think the Raiders could edge that out. But, for a team that was he did. He looked bad that game. The throws that he did make were good, but the ones that he didn't were just, woof. Chargers, though, what I was saying is, like, for them to be as hyped as they were in this offseason, and people are picking them as a Super Bowl favorite early. Justin Herbert is somehow, the next big thing, and he's a great quarterback. I'll say that as well. But once again, we're crowning these people that haven't accomplished anything.
Yeah,
we're crowning a franchise that historically hasn't accomplished anything. They are who they are until they prove otherwise. So yeah. Talk to me when
hype until we see it on the field, man. I don't care if you're the Miami Dolphins, right, who just had an amazing offseason, or if
Chargers had an amazing offseason. They acquired everybody in the known universe. I like their acquisitions. It makes sense for their team, and I think there's a lot of really good players there. Can they put it together over the course of 18 weeks of regular season football and find themselves in the playoffs? And not only find themselves in the playoffs, can they make a deep run in the playoffs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Chargers have undeniable potential. If you can't figure out with a roster that includes Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Sebastian Joseph Day, J.C. Jackson, Asante Samuel Jr., Khalil Mack. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Rashawn Slater, let's not discount offensive linemen here because that's a big deal. Like, if you can't figure that out, like, Staley, I feel like if they don't go to the playoffs this year, I think Staley's out of a job.
Fire him. That's it.
I think he's out of a job. And I like Staley. I miss him as defensive coordinator. I like him a lot. But, like, I think realistically, you have to fire him. If you guys don't make the playoffs this year, you have to fire him. That's just the way that it is. So they got the win, expected win. It was a tough one. It was a tough one. They're gonna be fighting tough games like that. Their whole, like I said, we talked about it. That whole division is loaded. They're gonna see Patrick Mahomes twice. They're gonna see Russell Wilson twice. They will see Derek Carr again. Let's see how it shakes out for them. And then I think the last game of the day that we didn't talk about is Green Bay, Minnesota. Man, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
I predicted it.
Oh, look, here's the thing, right? As good as Aaron Rodgers is, you gotta have somebody to throw to.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's throwing to. I literally cannot name his receivers outside of Sammy Watkins. And that's not great.
Yeah.
So Justin Jefferson went off today. And Justin Jefferson's been talking all offseason ever since they got Kevin O'Connell. He's been talking about how he plans to be the new Triple Crown this year. And I think this year I think this game was a statement that he intends to make good on that promise. 9 receptions for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. He wants it. He keeps claiming, like, hey, now I understand how Cooper Kupp was so wide open. Man, my thing is he's talking the talk. You got to put it up on the field, man. You got to put it up on the field. And today he did. So I don't have any negative notes for him. Keep going for the rest of the season because that's a lofty goal to go and try to get those Triple Crowns. And, they keep saying, hey, anybody can do it, but there's only 2, you know what I'm saying? There's like 2 receivers that have won the Triple Crown. And in terms of having those kind of crazy receiving seasons, there's only 2 of those that have had that. I think Justin Jefferson's the only thing that stops Justin Jefferson. Hell, I think the only thing that stops this Minnesota team offensively is Kirk Cousins. Can he be consistent? Can he be who he was today? 23 of 32, 277, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Can he be that person for the entire season?
Can he maintain it, man? It's like we see him, man. He's hot, he's cold. He'll tease you, man. Just like, oh my gosh, Hall of Fame numbers, man. But then they'll lose the game, man. And it just, can he finish out the year like this? You know what I mean? And stuff. So it's gonna be interesting. Hey, man, I actually got Jefferson in both of my leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where one league I had the 3rd pick and the other league I had the 2nd pick.
I'm pretty sure Justin Jefferson won a bunch of people their fantasy matchups today just single-handedly.
Yeah.
So that's
I got
good.
like 39 points or 38 points from him or something like that. I mean, it was pretty awesome, man.
And for the Green Bay Packers fans out there, like, they should know. Obviously, you're pissed. You don't want to lose to your division rival. Out of everybody, you don't want to lose to the Vikings. That's a special kind of rivalry that they got going on there. Man, the season's kind of starting how it did for them last year, right? Remember that game week 1 against the Saints? They got their butts blown out, and then what happened? They ended up being the number 1 seed in the NFC. Didn't do nothing with it, but that's to say the season isn't over. It's a long thing. This is week 1. Let's not overreact one way or another.
Can you imagine if Diggs never left? Oh, Lord. They probably wouldn't be much better because it's Kirk Cousins. But
I mean, if Diggs never left, man, like,
homeboy is running.
You're talking Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen would be the 3.
Yeah. I mean, like you think of Dan Marino and the Marx brothers, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mark Duper and Mark Clayton, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you think of that and like, hit him throwing for 5,000 yards. That's but again, it's Cousins, man. I gotta see it. And I think I think this is Cousins' best year, man. I think they make it to playoffs. I think they win that division. Then probably will lose like one random game in their division. And then maybe lose like 4 games in total for the year, man. But yeah, I think their first seed, one of the first seeds going into the NFC playoffs, man.
So those are the matchups. Before we jump, because I do want to talk just a little bit about tomorrow night's matchup and kind of what we think. I know we kind of glossed over it. I just want to do a rundown of some notable injuries that happened today. We talked about Dak Prescott. He's going to be missing some time. So week 1 injuries, Dak Prescott for the Cowboys, injured thumb on his throwing hand. There's no timetable on it right now. They just said that he's going to have surgery. He's going to miss weeks. I would expect it's going to be about 2 to 4 weeks. For the Los Angeles Rams, their starting center, Brian Allen, he's going to have some cleanup surgery in his knee. He's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks, possibly longer. Their left tackle, Joseph Noteboom, strained his MCL, is expected to play this upcoming Sunday. Probably won't. Baltimore Ravens tackle Juwan James suffered a torn Achilles today for the Jets. You hate that because he just battled back from an injury. But like I think it's pretty safe to say that, his season is over, and God, I hate that. And then there was a lot of, there's a lot of hips and hamstrings today. Keenan Allen got ruled out with a hamstring and stuff like that. I don't think that there was really any other significant ones. Mac Jones suffered a back injury. We don't know exactly what it was.
Yeah, back x-rays a few hours.
They came back negative, so he's going to be evaluated further. But we'll see what happens. But it doesn't look like any other season-ending. Potentially season-ending, or at least he's going to miss some time. It looks like T.J. Watt suffered a torn pectoral. We're going to see what his timetable is. Najee Harris hurt his foot, so we hope that he's good to go. Chris Godwin hamstring, like I said, a lot of little hamstrings, knees, and stuff like that. But the only, I think, significant ones that are going to miss some time, that Brian Allen, Dak Prescott, T.J. Watt, and unfortunately season ending. I would think torn Achilles, season ending for Juwan James.
Nah, man. It sucks, man, to see it so early in the season, man. I love facing off teams when they got all their people, man. You know what I mean? That way there ain't no excuses, man. But obviously, all football, all rivalries, all biasness aside, man, these are real people, real human beings, and we obviously hope the best that all these people injured can have a speedy recovery. For
sure. And look, Doug, I'm gonna be a contrarian here, and I'm gonna be the lame person. Like, no, I don't want to fight your team at full strength. I want them on their third string because I want to win. Like, y'all can save your excuses for somebody who cares, because as long as we winning and we getting championships, I don't care who's playing for your team. I really don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me be on the record. I don't want to play your best. I want to play your third string. I want to play the worst possible version of your team.
Love it. Love it. And folks, there you have it. Man, we're back. Week 1. We kept it lit for y'all all off season, from NFL interviews to prediction videos, and having a lot of fun. And now football is finally here. Not USFL, not XFL, not CFL, though I do like CFL. NFL football is finally here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, as well, I'm going to lower my screen. Please follow my guy, Adrian Campbell. He's one of the co-hosts of the show here, AC the GDB. Go ahead, follow him on Twitter. Where else can they find you, man?
Nah, Twitter is where y'all can find me. That's pretty much where I live now. Don't go looking for me anywhere else, because I'm not there.
Got it, man. You got it. Follow me at TouchdownDoug. You can also go to Instagram. I'm at the Touchdown with Doug Smith. I always try to correspond with everybody and whatnot. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you do want to. Hey, man, thank you so much for the subscribe, man. I appreciate you. Hey, fun fact, Search and Destroy, man. I just looked, man. You're a subscriber 1,370, man. So
man, we appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you stopping by, tuning into the show. Appreciate the subscription, man. I hope that we make you proud. I hope we keep you entertained throughout the season. You'll get to meet our two brothers that are our other co-hosts on the thing. So it's just week 1, man. We just getting started. We appreciate you stopping by and interacting with us.
Definitely, man. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and hit y'all with like the dopest outro that you've ever heard in your life. And we're gonna go ahead and finish out the episode, man. God bless you guys. Jesus loves you. Have an awesome night, man. Peep the outro, and then catch y'all next time.
Touchdown with Doug Smith, celebrate, that's a new move. Heisman, 2 views, catch him on YouTube. NFL coverage, interviews, who lose, who win, who lose. Comedy, you choose, it's not about moolah. The QB's like Tua is missing in action. No L's on my shooter. Play it like Marino, it's a gamble like casino. Hungry try to feed the beef. Rivalries will lead the conference. Cowboys of the Eagles. Will Belichick be a threat? Better check. Tomlin on deck. Much respect to the vet. What you expect? Gotta tune in for the rest. Make sure to sub, like, check. At the best, bad boy, the sports podcast. Put a threat across the north, east, south, in the west. Sitting back clueless, time to tune in. Now another sports center. It's a movement.